One of our best performances of the season. The reason is we beat a very good team. USC is talented. They have all the parts to be a Pac-12 champion and to be a team that, in March you play on a neutral court. They have a lot of experience, a lot of answers. Andy Enfield does a great job coaching them and really developing their team as the season goes on. So we knew it was a big challenge, and I think what makes this sweeter than most is that it's not easy to pick yourself off the mat. Losing a home game at McHale isn't a good feeling. However, we are 81-3 the last 84 games, but all three of them, it doesn't feel good, and to be able to go off of a Thursday night loss and be ready on Saturday isn't an easy thing. And I really credit our guys on our team, our leadership of our team, and Raleigh, who's fighting through that injury and hasn't played well recently. To see him come out with that confidence, it was a great feeling. So feel good about how we responded, and our season right now, especially the regular season, is 3 weeks, and hopefully we can really hit our stride and build off of tonight's performance.
Does this team go wherever Raleigh goes? This
team goes as DeAndre goes, and his defense sets the tone for a lot. You have to realize he's 7 foot, 260 pounds, and we made our mind up after the UCLA game that instead of bouncing him back and forth and letting him guard multiple bigs, to let him guard one of them, because it's just so hard to go back and forth. And tonight when I watched him out there, he did a really good job on boat right, and he is so gifted. And when he's playing like that with energy, it's not his shot blocking, it's his quick movement away from the basket at his size. I thought he set the tone. But our defense was night and day. Even when they scored, they earned it. And at the beginning of the second half, for about 3 minutes, we reverted. We didn't play with great effort, and we weren't as connected, and it felt that way. But other than that small window of time, I thought it was one of our best overall performances because we played both. And our bench helped us. And we got contributions from a lot of guys tonight, especially playing against a really good team.
You feel encouraged by the inspiring way they played compared to Thursday?
Yes, and the one thing is, every team that you've had that you look back on and you say, man, that was one of my favorite teams, or that was one of my favorite players. I've yet to see a group have it every single night. And sometimes you hope that when you don't have it, you can still win and fix it right away. I think when you don't have it, and we did the other night against the very talented UCLA team, they make you look bad. And to their credit, whether it was Jalen Hands at the end of the first half or, Golemon, who made a bunch of three-point shots, they have good players and they have a good coach, they have a good team, and they came in here and took it to us. But the way we reacted to that, I think, says a lot about our team. And, it's kind of blocking out the criticism, moving quickly to the next opponent, and controlling the things that we can control, and we did that tonight.
What changed with Raleigh, if anything, tonight?
It's what I said after the last game. You just have to realize how much time he's missed, and then, he's in a boot between games. We give him an extra day, and if we had no choice, it's not like we messed up. We were looking after his best interest, and if he has pain, you have to shut him down. By doing that, we got rid of his pain, and I think our hope is that he can be with us now, from now until the end. But he went a long period of time without any pain, and to see him play with that confidence. But after the UCLA game, he did what we all did yesterday. If this were the game before that, we would have given him the day off. But it doesn't keep you in a rhythm, it doesn't build your confidence. But he came out tonight and had such great confidence. It was fun to watch him play that way. Got to realize he didn't play very well in our 2 losses, and tonight to have him play like that, we're a different team.
Is he a guy who needs words of encouragement?
All of our players need words of encouragement. But he's a confident kid, and it always helps when the ball goes in and you play like that. I'm sure he'll, from this point forward, have a lot of confidence.
From a big picture standpoint, when you look at what might have been, and then you come out of here with 2 games up on everybody else in the conference after this week, how does that make you feel, given how things might have fallen poorly?
Yeah, I don't think we were panicking. we lost the game. You know, we lost to UCLA, and you know, sometimes a loss can really teach your team a lot of valuable lessons. And I really feel like everyone who played in tonight's game learned from that experience. And we can't control what the other teams do, but we certainly can control our readiness and our attitude, and I think our focus. But we have a confident group, and you know, the next game is going to be every bit as challenging as the one we just played this weekend. So we'll prepare hard and hopefully be a team like tonight when we go up to ASU.
Where would you guys be without the play of Dusan in the last month or so? He's been incredible. Tonight was another double-double. And
I just think Dusan has become an all-conference player. Statistically, there's no denying that. His field goal percentage, his rebounding, almost 7.5 to 8 a game, 16 points. I mean, he does it game in, game out. He's a terrific kid. You know, I hope he can become the all-time winningest player in school history. I think it would be a remarkable story, considering where he was when he came here from high school, how he stayed, and how he's really impacted this last team. But both Parker and him, I think, showed a lot of leadership over the last couple of days, and they had our team ready.
What's it say about Aiden that he makes, after all the other stuff he does, he makes that three that pretty much nailed it for you guys tonight? A 70-point lead or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, DeAndre was disappointed in his performance against UCLA. You know, he didn't have it that night. And, you know, when you say a young guy doesn't have it, he had a double-double, it's almost not fair. But all of the games that we've watched him in and all of the practices, that was the one game that he just didn't have that energy that he usually has in bounce. And I think it was a great learning experience for him as well, how these teams and players are coming in here to attack us, right? When you have the reputation that he has and you're playing Arizona, you're going to give your best effort. And but he was ready tonight and did a great job. Like I said, his defense was a big reason we won. And also, I want to talk about Alonzo. You know, very quietly, you know, he had 8 rebounds tonight, 14 points, 4 assists, and had another game where, from an offensive perspective, he was really efficient.
So Washington apparently lost. Everybody's got 5 losses now except you. All of a sudden, 2 games up in the loss column. Does that surprise you? How do you feel at this point?
We can't control that. You know, all we can control is tomorrow, the next day, having a focused approach, continuing to develop our team. You know, working hard down the stretch to be the best team that we can be. I think it's good for our group that we have only 1 game next week. We've been hard at it for a while, and I think it comes at a really good time. But, you know, going up to ASU, you know, just looking at what Bobby's done with their program, the crowd that they have, they're playing with a lot of confidence. They've had a great season. It should be a really challenging game, but a fun atmosphere, and we have to be ready for sure. We're going to have to play our very best in that game.
Along those lines,
With DeAndre, just from the course of the season, from November to now, what are the biggest changes you've seen in him?
You know, the changes in DeAndre are just simply that he's, I think, learned a lot. His work ethic has continued to improve. He takes care of business. Off the court, on the court, he's focused. It's fun to be around. He's not a moody guy. You know, he's brings a smile to your face. And I think he's really enjoyed his time in college and with us at Arizona. But he's learned a lot about the game. He plays both ends. And I think that'll serve him well when he leaves here. But, you know, the thing that I appreciate the most about DeAndre is he's never really used us as a pit stop. He's done everything that we've asked. He's worked hard, and I think he's entirely focused on playing well, but leading his team and having his team win. I don't know if anybody was more disappointed after the UCLA game than him. And but he's a great kid, and you know, we have a lot of really good kids, but because of who he is, his stature, it's nice when you can coach him.
Emmanuel's seen some more minutes over the last couple games. Is he somebody that you think is ready for a larger role on the team as we progress?
You know, we met with our bench. That's one of the number of things that we did after the UCLA game, and really talked about their importance. You know, there are some guys right now that they may not fill the stat sheet, but their role in a game like tonight is vital to come in the game, play really hard, be able to rest our starters. You know, one of the things that happened to us in the UCLA game is we wore down. We played our starters too many minutes. So you have to believe in your bench, but they have to know what to do when they come in. And I thought our bench did a really good job. Ira, Keanu, you know, they came in and made positive plays. But Emmanuel's day will come. He'll eventually be a really good player. But right now, we need him to be a really good defender, guy that takes care of the ball. He did that tonight.
The way you guys were able to string together stops tonight, have you been able to pinpoint what the difference is effort-wise tonight versus UCLA, how you can get them to play with a harder effort like they did tonight?
Well, you know, the one thing, let me just clarify this. UCLA is the hardest team in our conference to defend. Statistically, they're the best offensive team in our conference. When they win games, and they've won their fair share, they're usually rolling on offense. So even with our best effort, they're a difficult team to defend. I thought, you know, Aaron Holiday was a great player the other night, and sometimes you have to tip your hat to the opponent. Did we play our best? No, we absolutely did. But part of why it felt that way is we didn't play our best against a great offensive team. Tonight, we played against a very good offensive team, and we did. We played more together, we played harder, and I think it's a lesson that we learned in the UCLA game that we're able to carry into the USC game. And all of our teams are different. You know, we've had our challenges at times this year of being locked in defensively, but tonight we did a lot of good things. And you know, I'm anxious to show our team that, because keep showing them all the times they don't do it. It's nice when you can mix in a few times to show when they can.
Do you think that persistent message that you've given them about, hey, you're pretty good on offense, but the defense lags a lot, is sinking through and making progress?
Yeah. They hear it a lot.
Sean, Washington goes, beats you guys and loses to Oregon in the Oregon schools twice. UCLA comes here, wins, loses in ASU. Virginia loses today at home. What does it say about college basketball today, especially as the road gets closer to March?
No, I don't know how much different it is. It's just the teams that have been at the top for decades are younger now than they used to be. And youth and everything, you're more vulnerable. The less experienced teams are more vulnerable. You know, I watch Xavier right now, and you know, they're pulling out these hard victories by 1 point. They're epic finishes, and they've been on the positive end of it. You know, you think about McCura and Trayvon Blewett, they played against us in a Sweet 16 when Stanley Johnson and TJ were here. It's a long time ago. So, you know, that experience plus talent maybe puts them in a different category. So I think that's the one difference. But look, we've been on top of the Pac-12 a lot in my 9 years. I think we've had, what, 12 road sweeps in 9 years? That shows you how hard it is to win both games on the road. So that's where we head next, and so we have to do a good job being ready to go.
What do you expect from, I mean, obviously that rivalry game against Arizona State, always going to be electrically charged, you know, energy-wise, but ASU now kind of getting their feet back under them, 2 straight wins, beat UCLA by 10 points tonight. What's the atmosphere going to be like, and what, you know, what are you going to try, or I guess, how are you going to get your guys up for that? I'm sure you won't have to.
I hope I don't have to get them up.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
I mean, it's a terrific opponent, great atmosphere, rivalry. It's, you know, this weekend and next week is kind of why you come to a place like Arizona. You want to play in big games that matter, and you know, next week, really every game from this point will be big. But we respect Arizona State a great deal. It'd be foolish for anyone to think differently. They have an excellent team, and like I said at the beginning here, their home court I know has grown in terms of attendance, and I think that's great for our conference. And I think we're looking forward to the challenge. You know, it won't be easy, but we'll be there on Thursday night.
Just one thing I'm following up from the reserve you talked about. Ira, they had a few layups. You went to Ira in the first half there, and I didn't know, and he didn't play the other night. I didn't know, was there something you've seen in him or looking for tonight as opposed to the other night with him?
No.
Brilliant coaching.
What?
Brilliant coaching decision.
We're just trying to get a lot of energy off our bench and win some talented young guys.